a miracle, doc. They counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on my feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family that bang in the streets. The game on lock, I stand with a key. Standing my ground, I am planning to flee. Standing my ground, I am planting my feet. Taking a stand, embracing my destiny, shaking his hand, flipping the script, changing the...
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Thursday Night CrossFit Talk on a Sunday night. We did that originally because of the NFL draft, and I am a huge NFL fan and wanted to partake in that. And then all hell broke loose, and it's probably a good thing we did it because we know more today than we ever would have known on Thursday night. So we can actually discuss a little bit more as to what's going on tonight. So before we get into all that, I don't know if you've noticed at the bottom of the screen, we have a new sponsor.
Yay.
Finally got a new sponsor this year. It is ThiccBoi. You can see that Jamie and I are wearing a ThiccBoi shirt. They're awesome. They're super soft, super comfortable shirts. The most exciting thing is they will be carrying Clydesdale media merchandise. They are doing up the screens now. We should have something in the next week or two as to what will be available. You'll be able to go to the ThiccBoi website and order shirts and tanks in the first run. And then we'll take a poll and see what other merchandise you guys would be interested in. And we'll do that moving forward. But it will feature the new logo, the horse with the barbell for the first run. And that'll be available in the next week or so. So super stoked about that. These shirts are super comfortable. I have this one and a white and blue one. They're pretty amazing. And again, one of the softest shirts I own.
Yeah, they've got some hilarious ones. They have a ladies one that's cute but psycho. He's got a ton of funny ones. Mark actually goes to my gym and he does all of our gym wear. So I love it. I'm biased because he's a member, but I love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of sponsors, if anyone want to help sponsor my trip to semifinals, just throwing it out there. Started paying for my trip and stuff, and I was like, God damn, this is getting expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, speaking of semifinals, we're going to do some fun stuff later because this has been the whole week from the CrossFit world. It is semifinals or quarterfinals finished. Videos were submitted. It was sometime on Wednesday, I believe. Penalties started to be issued and the leaderboards changed dramatically. So I was on with Tristan, Jamie's coach, on Thursday. We talked about this and I said on that show, and I put a reel out about it, this is what we've been asking for. Consistency, professionalism, standard of movement. Now everybody's going crazy because they're implementing it. I do agree they should have communicated it at least some, if not a whole lot better. But it's here. You two have not had a penalty yet. Carolyn, we can share with the world, and I have it pulled up here. Let me see if I can find it again.
I was going to post a video soon on my Instagram with all of my highlights from quarterfinals, including my box step-ups for people to see what standing up
Carolyn
means.
Validated all 4 workouts.
Yes.
So
Have you had any looked at, Jamie?
I've had workout 2 validated.
Okay.
So that's the other thing that I'm not sure was communicated is how far down they are doing the video review. I've heard rumors of 80. And that would make sense because Jamie was way up on workout 2, but not that far up on workout 1. So that would kind of make sense in there. Have you heard anything, Carolyn?
How far they're going back? Well, I know that everyone that is inside the top 40, like originally it was top 60 was going to get their videos reviewed. And then every new person that's kind of entering the top 40, I'm assuming every video is getting looked at. What's very interesting is the age group I think their deadline for the video validation process is later, and their semifinals is coming up very soon. But I guess they're probably thinking, let's validate all of the individuals that actually have to have travel trips planned versus the age groups that are staying online for their semifinal. So I think that the date for you guys is a little bit later, maybe a week later for Jamie and the age group.
I think it had said May 1st was our deadline. It was only a few days, I thought.
Only a few days after.
I mean,
Yeah.
our deadline was May 8th. So if May 1st is the finalization, that gives you 1 week to get your crap together.
Hey,
Corey
Jenny,
has moved into.
Can you pull your mic a little bit closer?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Bruce is asking Corey, where did he end up? I see he has moved up to 185.
And it's top 200 for each age group, right? Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So Corey could be a semifinalist.
Yes.
Put it in the Insta profile, Corey. In the bio.
Yeah. So I ask you, is this what you wanted as an athlete to have? And I think I know the answer, knowing the two of you, but I want to hear from you. Is this what you wanted?
You can go first.
I mean, so yes, but I need to caveat that with just seeing 600, 700 people get dinged with no communication really, other than Halpin's document that shows the number of reps, still no reasoning, still no, there's just no transparency. And I think that is so wrong. Yes, I want standards held, but I want them held across the board. And I want it clear. I want it very clear what was okayed and what was not okayed.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Standards need to be held. Some standards were not held by the athletes. I thought the wording was pretty clear. I think where CrossFit needs to communicate better is in the penalties, and that part is subjective a little bit. Some people have, let's say, most of the reps are good and then some bad reps, and they're still getting the 15 or 20% penalty. And some people, all of their reps look bad, I guess, or no reps, and they're getting similar types of penalties. So I guess just in that communication, which reps would be nice to write. And then in the past, actually, I don't think they did that on the scorecard of what the no reps will be for penalties. I think they did some penalties last year in the quarterfinals. Remember they had a little thing, if you false start, you have this is the penalty. If you have this is the penalty. Something a little bit more clear like that would be nice in terms of exactly what is the penalty for that many, or for that rule being broken.
Yeah,
I agree. Says we should be used to no transparency by now, as much as we want it and need it.
Yeah, on both of those, I have comments on both of those points. Carolyn, what does a false start get you? 5 seconds? What does my issue is degree, and it seems to be kind of arbitrary this year. They wrote 15 to 40%. Who even knows what you're getting for what? And I personally feel different movements deserve, and this gets into a super arbitrary point, so I understand it's probably nearly impossible, but someone not completely not opening their hips and just getting up at a 45-degree angle on the box and going right back down without even trying to put the other leg barely on the box is a completely different rep than a slightly soft knee where you actually stood up. And the degree of not completing that rep and the ensuing fatigue is impacted. And I get it. It's how do you make those penalties? But a missed double under is not the same as a push away ring muscle up, no rep. I'm sorry, they're completely different things. And I not getting shoulders back on a top of a box step up isn't really where the movement fatigue is felt. So it's just, I don't know. There is just degrees to the penalties, and I understand that that's a realm that we probably can't touch.
Yeah.
It's just really hard to see.
I just kind of like look at everyone's writing online. Oh, like the head can't look down. The head can look down. That's not where the issue is. If you try to extend your hips, your shoulders are not forward. They're just not. Like if you finish your hip extensions, your shoulders are in line. It's not that hard of a standard to move, like to do. Like people are like, oh, that movement should not be online. It should have been a box step over. Maybe, but that was the movement. And I redid the workout because I did not like my original first reps. Like I was still a little bit over, and I was like, no, that I know that the shoulders need to be right in line, because I was giving a side angle of that movement, and I was like, I have to redo it. So the next time I did it, opened up the hips every single rep, and like the shoulders fall back. Like I'm still looking at the box, but my shoulders are back. Everything is lined up. Like I don't think the standard is that difficult. I think a lot of people kind of treated it as a pistol, where like they're finishing that one leg, especially if they're on the corner of the box, and they're just tapping kind of like a pistol. Like you're just done with that one, and then you're kind of going the other side. And the box step up is not a pistol in the sense that you have to have both feet up, both feet extend. And like some people are just finishing the one hip and the other one's tapping to come back down. And it's just kind of treated as a pistol, and it's not.
That non-working leg was a major issue in a lot of videos I saw. So Andrew Sten says CrossFit needs to be clear, needs clear set penalties, not a range. The rule book says 15 to 40%. I want to agree with this with an example. Years ago, the NFL had two different face masking penalties, a 5-yard and a 15-yard. And it was up to the discretion of the referee. It became so inconsistent, they did away with that and said it's only 15 yards now. Right? So pro sports recognize that in the heat of the battle, it's hard to judge one or the other. Let's just make it one and make it consistent across the board.
Yeah. He's not wrong there. Like, that's where I'm saying, like, while I think there's degrees, I do realize it's probably impossible to implement. But when he says a no rep is a no rep, there's something to be said for what we have watched in this sport for years and what we watch happen live. And then what I watch, like Pat Vellner get no rep for. I don't think that would have been no rep at the games. I've seen clear no reps from other.
I think he would get fixed one time. It would be no rep, and then he would fix it. That's the thing with the in-person competition. And like, props to Pat for putting his whole video up, because Pat's one of the best movers. We know that. But when I looked at the video, I was like, I do see what the judges see. And I saw the soft knee. I saw the hips not fully extended. And this has nothing to do against Pat's character and stuff like that. Like, I've seen posts where people feel like we think that they're cheating and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with that. Like, we're moving fast. People were on the wrong side of the line. And then they go and post one rep on their story, or one rep or two reps on their post, and it's their best rep. And it's like, show me your full video.
Right.
Show me your full video. Then I'll see. But like, most of the videos I've seen, I have seen the penalty, and I'm like, I do see what the team has judged. Do I think the penalty fits the crime? That's where I think it's harsh, right? Like, I think most of them I would have taken less reps away, but I can't deny and say that those reps were to the standard. I think for the ones that I've seen, I'm like, yeah, it's a penalty. Like,
I wish I could find it. Kelly Stone at some point posted the email she got after her appeal was denied.
And if you read the email, that email says her 6th rep was good. And which one did she post? You can hear the judge saying 6, 7. Like, that's the rep that the games team literally says was good. And
what I wanted to
post, and I'm like,
what I wanted to point out is what you just said. In the email, they said, this is not a judge on your character.
Nothing.
or anything. This is just, we evaluated the reps, made a decision based on the rep itself. We know you worked hard. We know you did all this stuff. I thought I've been critical of CrossFit in their communications a lot in the last 4 years on this show. Kudos to whoever wrote that email. It was very well written, explained it in detail what was good. If you want to reference what a good rep is, go to rep 6. If you want to, the rest we've held in question, and we're upholding your 165.
Yeah, it's just like the amount that it would drop people. I was like, ugh. Like my heart feels for someone like Paige. I don't know if she has had any communication on her appeal or whatever, but like there's no way that she's that far down on the leaderboard, right? Like it's just, I think some of the penalties, I wish it wasn't a percentage and it was just like this rep is bad, so we're gonna take that rep, that like versus a percentage. I don't know how, because it's like what, half a second to open up your hips. Like I don't know if you could say like, let's say 1 second a bad rep, look at the time it takes for people to do reps, and I don't know if that would even work. I don't know how that would work, but it seems like 50 reps penalty is kind of absurd.
I agree. That's where my struggle comes in. So like in going through this, I like tried to list like what are the issues that CrossFit is facing with quarterfinals at this point? Money and time, probably most importantly, right? Like they started this now, they just brought in a ton of extra cash by doing this. So like a lot of people's comments have been, they shouldn't have let 25% in. We got to go back to 10 or even 5% need to be in. We know that's probably not even going to be a resolution that they're even going to look at because they just got this influx of cash. And so I think that monetarily is a big thing we need to somehow brainstorm around. And time, small team, right? They don't have the time to review that many videos. I would argue the third thing is probably like control. This goes back to what Andrew's saying with transparency. We're very aware that like it almost seems they want to be secretive so that they can make the decisions that they want to make to like get the results that they want to. And I could be completely wrong, but why people get so frustrated is the lack of transparency, and there's just not enough communication. So I like for point 1 and 1 specifically monetarily, I feel like what they need to do, go ahead and allow the 25% in out of the open. And it's like, maybe we set it to $25 to compete, and it's to compete to get on a leaderboard. And it would be everyone that signs up would be on that leaderboard. Now, do you want to video? Because I know there's a lot of people who don't want that hassle. Do you want a video, and do you want a real reviewed shot at making it to either Masters or Indy? Okay, that one's going to be like $60. Maybe we find a difference. Okay, so if you're on this leaderboard, it's only the people who are going to submit videos. You cannot submit a score without a video in there, and they will all go pop public at the close of the score submissions. That leaderboard is a video leaderboard that will be public to everybody at the end. Everyone else is on another one. Same with those people, so that everyone that just participated could possibly see, well, shoot, I was like only 20 spots out. Like maybe next year I should sign up for the other one. They can't be two separate leaderboards. There needs to be the one. But I feel like that way, these hundreds of people who don't even have a video, that page is now below, wouldn't be on this. She wouldn't even be up against those people in this situation. She would only be up against, and it could be 400 people. And again, that's why it needs to go public. And they're a small team. So point 2, small team, make another influx of cash, because nobody's going to sign up for the judges course next year because it was completely pointless. You make that leaderboard judgeable online by anyone who's done the judges course, and enough get flagged, then it gets the deep review. And so you've made more money on a little bit higher cost for sign up. You've made more money on the judges review. Like there's ways that they can be a little more transparent and get a little bit more professionalism out of this sport, but they need to like relinquish a little bit of control.
I agree.
I love the idea.
Yeah.
I don't think having like 2 separate leaderboards will ever happen in the minds of CrossFit. I understand why, and I like your idea. I'm just telling you, without a significant administrative change, I don't see that happening.
Well, so who just posted? Somebody just posted. Andrew posted, if you don't submit a video with your, like he's saying, just if you don't submit a video, period, you are removed from the leaderboard. I have seen comments all over about that, about people saying, I don't want to do that. I don't want to submit a leaderboard. I don't want to submit a video. I don't want to deal with the hassle of it. I just want to pay, see where I fall. And the second you make videos a requirement, for one, they're going to be garbage videos unless you're actually reviewing them all. They're going to be a clip of somebody cooking dinner for 5 minutes. And so like, and you're going to lose people that don't want that hassle signing up. So you've just lost money because you said this is the requirement.
It makes it more professional, but it makes it less inclusive. That's the thing, right? And it's finding that balance in CrossFit between the professional side of the sport and the participation side.
Yeah.
Because like you said, some people won't put their videos and they're like, no, I won't sign up now because I don't want to get torn to pieces by X, Y, and Z. But even the open, you had people that have their videos and they never get looked at anyways. So I don't know if it fully fixes, but at least at the top of the leaderboard, it would. And I think people would move better knowing that their video is public.
100%.
Just
Whether or not,
the thought of
exactly,
I'm going to be posting this. People are going to see what I move like. I better move well.
Yep.
So early, and my gosh, we have ton of people on tonight, which is awesome. But the comments are coming in so fast. There was a comment earlier. Do you think this is a 1-year issue? Or do you think this is going to continue year after year? Do you think this is the warning? I'm going to put it in my words. Do you think this was the warning shot? We're going to put the hammer down this year, and then everybody's videos are going to be much better going forward.
I thought they had a good warning, like the 1 year where they had the pistols, and like that was a warning too. And then people went back to moving like they normally do when no one's watching. I don't know. I just think people have to be a little bit more careful of, watching their video over, looking, having someone else look it over. Does this meet the standard? And do I have to redo it too? And just taking a little bit more personal accountability for the movement standards. But hopefully it cleans it up though. I'm hoping, but they definitely had harsh penalties this year. Whew. It's just nerve-wracking to even wait. Even though you move well, you're like just waiting on the email.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I feel like there's a line where it's almost like, do I just move ridiculously fast, ridiculously shitty, and take a 20% penalty and like that's the thing. Tia's score was so high that she's only an 8th and it doesn't even matter. So like at some point, and like Hiller brought this up, like he was there and he slowed Bill down, and did he do him a disservice because he got a double hit? I feel like that is a real struggle in my mind. I struggle with it with Jim because I know how everyone in that bracket moves. And again, until things are transparent, you aren't going to get a sweeping change.
So just to clarify, Andrew Hiller told Bill Leahy to slow down his reps and redo them because he was afraid he would take a hit. Analyzing it after the fact, he feels like if he would have went faster, taken the hit, he would have been in a better place today than he was after Andrew told him to slow down.
Yep.
And so I ask you, Andrew said that workout itself, and I think this is bigger than just make it a step over, but he said when you're taking a Ferrari and it has a hard curve in it, it's very hard to hit that movement at the curve. A lot of people are going to crash. And when you're trying to move fast, get up and down on that box, that you take that curve in a way that's a little bit dangerous. And that's where the extension is. I'm not a high-level athlete. I don't understand Ferrari and NASCAR. So I ask you, is that a real perception for you as an elite athlete?
Well, what's the saying? Smooth as slow, or slow as smooth, smooth as fast.
Like, I don't think the box step up is the same thing as an air squat, for instance, on how fast someone can move and finish their like hip extension. I still think the fact that you have double the weights, yes, it drags your shoulders a little bit forward. But again, if you finish your hip extension, I don't think it's as much as the Ferrari as other movements that we can see, like the pistol that's very fast, where are you putting your foot down before you're finishing? I think that it's still a movement that can stay online, like in an online competition. Like when we think about a movement that you don't want to see online, like an air squat would be pretty fast for some people.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think it's a very doable standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was still able to get 24 reps, and I'm not very tall, and I shot my hips forward.
And that when you said that at the beginning of the show, it made me think that as an elite athlete, and you have athleticism, you know what you have to adjust to go as fast as you can and stay within the law. A NASCAR driver knows that this bend coming up, how fast he can take it and still remain in his line.
Yeah.
The thing that's tough is the slowing down of the videos, right? When you're online, it's like the video review versus the live in person. That's the difficult part. The fact that you can slow it down, zoom in, slow it down, zoom in. At what point do we allow just natural eye and like judgment to be called?
I absolutely don't think there should be slowdowns.
Right. Like we have the thing that's difficult is like in-person competitions, we can never use a video to justify a rep. And it's like, we can have it on video. We can slow it down. Like that's another issue too. I mean, it would take forever for the appeals for an online competition, but yeah, that's the thing that's hard about online is the fact that you can zoom in, slow down to whatever speed.
Sarah, Carolyn did not receive any penalties, and all 4 workouts are validated. Just to catch you up.
Get those videos posted, girl. Let's see what a good rep is. Show us the standard.
I will.
People need to know. D Reed asked her if it was hips, knees, head position. Hips and knees is what I've heard. I've heard the head position, but I have yet to see an actual athlete post an email that said it was purely your head position. I think maybe it was commented on, but I think even in the people that the head position was noted, it was soft knees was the major reasoning behind it. So I feel like the head
and hip extension. If you didn't finish your hips, your shoulders are in front, your head can still look down.
Right.
You finish your hips, your shoulders automatically go back. Look back at the Hiller video on the deadlift, just finishing your hips, like your chest goes up. Yep. Like you can still look down at your feet on the box, but your rep is finished. But it's a soft knee. It was the tap, kind of like treating it like a pistol, where you finish the one hip and the other foot was tapping, and that was the difference. People were treating it like a pistol instead.
So let me ask you this: of all the videos that have made it public, did you see one that was the head only that was not extended?
Nope.
Not a one. Like nope. I saw that then I've looked at like Pat's, I've looked at Medeiros', I've looked at other people's. None of them had the issue with the head. It was a soft knee. It was the non-working leg. Those were the issues, or they were still bent over. They did not stand upright. And they, in all honesty, everyone that I've seen was a blatant no rep.
Yep.
Yeah, or people post their 1 or 2 good reps to their stories or Instagram, and it's like, okay, if you're that confident about your movements, show me your full round. Show me 1 full minute of your movements, and we'll see if all of them look like that. Because that's the thing, is most of them don't have their whole video looking bad. It's just there's a significant amount of reps. I just want to know. I would just like to see how many significant and what is the penalty. Like, does the penalty make sense? Or was it the whole workout that your hips were like that? Because like Pat had some good reps as well, and then he had some bad reps. So it's like,
that's the thing. If you posted it, maybe we'd be in your favor. Maybe we'd be like, you know what? I watched it in real time and I counted 14 bad ones. I would give you a 14 rep penalty, not a 36 rep penalty.
Yeah, when I was watching Pat, it was the one leg that seemed to be more no rep than the other. So I think he had a stronger leg and a weaker leg, and it, like we all do, probably.
Yeah.
So there's so much going on in the comments. My friend Dex is in the comments. He wants to go back in time. I'm not necessarily, I am not a big proponent of going back in time.
I know. I think we need to learn from this and like move forward. Lana says, would floor plans with camera location have helped? I do think in a way they do maybe need to re-release purely for everyone having basically the same angle, right? And someone else not being like, oh, that was a terrible angle. That's why I got dinged. I mean, if it's pretty standard what we're looking at, then at least we're all on the same page there.
Yeah, like a lot of people had their step ups towards the back, right? And I had this dilemma of like, where do I put my camera in this video? Because I want the camera to see the screen. So like after every round, I had the camera move to the screen in my rest period. But I was like, I want the camera to see the screen, but I also want them to see my step up. So if I have the camera behind me, I can't step up the same way that I'm facing for the row. So I had to take an extra little bit to turn around for my first set of step ups. And I was like, oh, this is going to be slower transitions. But like, then I gave them exactly that side angle that they probably want to see the hip extension for.
Yeah.
Just for a laugh. Some of these people never did Zumba, and it shows. Okay, so I like Jamie's solution. I do believe that this is I'm very hopeful that this is a 1-year thing. This is our warning shot. You need to make because I think that what could have solved all of this is CrossFit coming out and saying, for quarterfinals, we're not joking around. The standard will be the standard. We need to clean up our online game. We are going to rule to the letter of the law. Make sure your videos are clean. Good luck. Let's go.
Yeah, like with a smaller field for some of these competitive regions, we're going to be, putting the hammer down to make sure that the 40 athletes moving on are adhering to the standards. That's it.
Are they though? I mean, I've seen a lot of other videos that are of other workouts that they aren't even touching that are clearly not meeting the standards.
Yeah, I don't think they looked at 3 and 4 very much because like both of those were like accepted very fast, like within 20 minutes or 30 minutes of each other, like last night. So I don't know. Maybe they went back to back.
Real quick is other sports do that. Even though they have a rule book, the NFL will come out and say, we are going to make a point of emphasis to look at this, and this year. And those things, the penalties go up at the beginning of the year until it becomes a little more corrected. And then as the year goes on, it gets better.
Right.
I agree with PC here that like you shouldn't have to do that. But if you're going to be completely different in your calls, I think maybe just a warning of like, hey, we're going to be putting the hammer down.
And Wad Zombie says, based on CrossFit's online judging history, they should have to state it because this is the first time they've ever followed the standards 100%.
I think whatever they told these online review team to watch for, they should have really released a statement before we started quarters. That's what you do. You get the briefing at semis and the games, right? Those judges are told what to watch, and it's briefed to the athletes. Don't do this. Like, hey, we're focused on this. For one, like a statement maybe should have gone out to the AFJ. Like maybe the AFJ needs to partner better with CrossFit to get that said to them. And once they knew, maybe they could have put out. And again, it probably goes back to control and communication and transparency. But like maybe if we put our trust in the AFJ, and the AFJ looked at the workouts, then got like a briefing from CrossFit, and then put a public statement out to all athletes.
Is that an unfair advantage though for the people that have access to those AFJ judges?
Sure. I don't know that they should be like certified, and those videos should just be put through because they had those judges. I don't know if I agree with that. That's a haves and haves nots, and only the ones with the money and are getting through because they've, put themselves in a position to get. But it still comes down to, you're not online, or you're not in person. In person, you'll get a no rep and you can adjust it. So when you're moving online and you're submitting a video, it goes back to review your video and make sure, well, one, it's playable. And two, like your movements are good. And if you don't feel comfortable, if you keep slowing down a certain rep or two and you have an uneasy feeling about your video, you should probably redo. And like, that's what I did. I was like, I don't like this one that much. I feel bad submitting this. We're going to redo it.
Lex says, simple, watch your videos before you submit.
Very true.
Have someone else look at your video before you submit.
That's what
I know athletes that have that happen.
Yeah.
So that's that. I don't think we're going to solve anything today. But we spent 40 minutes on that. So let's talk a little bit about Crescendo. It was a cool event where some of the top teams in the sport traveled to Spartansburg, South Carolina, competed this weekend. Mayhem Independence ended up winning that competition, and that is the team that qualified for semis out of Mayhem with Angelo DeChico. Sure.
Sam, Zoe, and Molly.
Yep, all of them. Yeah. Grid House came in second. Let's see what happened. Came in third. CrossFit Reignited fourth, and Ocean State came in fifth. Huge shout out to my girl Christine Best, who on the final flip sled injured her knee.
I couldn't see if it was a knee or an ankle.
It was a knee. I talked to her this evening. She twisted her knee on the one flip sled. She doesn't know what she's actually done yet, but she is able to walk on it at this point. And she's hoping that when the swelling goes down, it'll be okay. But now it's just getting home and then trying to figure out what's up with it. And then her teammate who had to do all the remaining flip sleds.
I know.
I mean, if you had to pick a teammate that was strong to finish that sled, I'm pretty sure
Christine Middleton is it.
Christine or Kristen Middleton is the athlete that you want to just flip the sled for the entire way. Because if that's your like weaker athlete, then you're screwed. But she was impressive that she just carried on. She knew what happened and just like, all right, I got this. Don't worry.
I felt bad when she finished and collapsed to the floor, and there was nobody from her team available to congratulate her because they're all worried about Christine's knee. But she was well congratulated by other teams when she finished. But that was pretty impressive. That was an impressive thing to watch.
It was.
Brian did get teared up. That was kind of sad to watch.
They had some good events. JR puts on great comps, always has unique elements. Like I saw the rope on the dumbbells and I was like that's cool. Like he's just always thinking outside the box. And this is a great tune-up competition for, most of these teams are competing in just over a month now, about a month for the East, if they're on the East side. Like if they were doing a regular training weekend at this point, I don't think it's like that much of like risk of an injury. I think it's far enough away from their competition, and it's great experience on a team to see, where you are and how you work together on these workouts. Great
your hands on odd objects, worms, all those kinds of things that you're going to see at semifinals. JR always does a great job. And I don't know if you saw, Carolyn, but he announced you as the first games athlete signed up for Crash individual competition in the off season.
Yeah, I'm excited. I watched it last year and I had FOMO and I was like, next year, I was like, I think this would be a good one in my off season, because I didn't do any of the off season comps this year, and I was like looking at that one and I was like, this is the type of comp that. Oh, actually, I did the NorCal Classic. I'm lying, but I was like, this is the type of competition that I think would be good experience on some unique elements and some high skill stuff that he programs. So yeah, he reached out to me, and I was, and Pedro too, or Peter, I should say, from Coffee Pods and Wads, made it happen. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, Patrick Clark says you pretty much did Rogue too.
It's true.
In the shadows of the warehouse.
Yep.
Oh, Jamie did Crescendo, or not? Is that right? Crucible. I get it mixed up. You did Crucible last year, and it was crazy. Like you had been on things that you had never been on in your CrossFit career.
Yeah, he's got a lot of equipment there, so he's got a lot of available items to use, things that I don't have.
Yeah.
That was Lexa's text to me. How much stuff does JR have at his gym today? She's like, he has everything. And I was like, yep.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the money that he makes on comps is just poured right back into the gym.
Yep.
And it's not like pocketed. I feel like what other comps would do. I feel like he's really giving back to making sure his gym has everything needed.
What's nice too is he has the two kinds of gym floors, the turf, the regular floor, and then depending on the event, you flip it back and forth, makes a completely different event. So that's pretty cool. So we wanted to finish up with something fun because it's been a stressful week for a lot of people. And that is, it's draft week. NFL just had a big draft. We are going to draft our super teams. And the way I presented it to these two is, if you're starting a CrossFit super team, who would you start your franchise with in these specialist categories? One male, one female in each category. So the categories are going to be power output, gymnastics, endurance, Olympic lifting, upper body pulling, odd objects, and leadership.
Dex is looking for a shout out here.
Yeah, Dex the water boy. So we're going to start with power output, and I'll switch it up each time, but this time we'll start with Jamie.
Male or female right now?
Both. We'll do both each time.
Okay. So my power output, I will take Dale and Pepper. And so this doesn't sound like a great pick, but I have a reason when you see my whole team. I'm going to pick Emma Lawson for my power output.
Why Emma Lawson?
Well, you got to wait till I've given you all my people.
Okay. My power output is going to be Roman, although I was going back and forth between Hopper as well and Roman and Dallin. And for the female, I'm going to pick Olivia Kerstetter.
Okay.
I think she can move machines. She can move some big weights.
My power output is Dallin Pepper and Laura Horvat. Laura's still young. People forget. And start in two of the youngest, most powerful athletes in the sport. Start there. Kenneth DeLapp says, Sam Dancer, Alex Kazan.
Are we talking power output like on machines?
I didn't take it fully that way, but
Okay.
yeah,
Machines, I'll take Crescendo. But
And this is to start your franchise, right? So like
Horvath. I'm switching to Horvath.
I thought Tim Paulson, but I wouldn't want to start a franchise with him. He's at the end of his career. I'd want someone that I have for 10 years. Right. So that's why I went that way. Patrick Clark went Gabby and Freyova on the women's side. I almost went Gabby too. Because I only used each name once on my team.
Same. Mm-hmm.
So there. So then we go to gymnastics.
Are we talking?
And we're going to start with
pressing gymnastics or pulling gymnastics? Because if we're doing
no
pulling,
specification, and nobody jumped in our note page.
okay, so males, I'm going to pick Victor Hoffer.
It's a great one.
And woman, I would in general pick Emma Lawson. I want Gazan in terms of pulling if I could, and in terms of handstand gymnastics, it would be Danielle Brandon. But overall, I'm going to pick Emma Lawson and Victor Hoffer.
I picked the exact same.
Nerds. I pick Pat Vellner and Alexis Raptis.
Nice picks. Nice picks. I like it.
Kenneth DeLapp picks Vellner and Lowen.
Also great picks.
Very good.
D. Reed picks Taylor Self and Raptis.
Very good as well.
There is an upper body pulling category, guys.
Is Carolyn allowed to draft herself? Yes.
I don't think I'm a specialist in any of these.
Wad Zombie picked Colton for every category.
One-man team.
All right. So then we go to endurance. And I'll go first. I have Yona Koski and Emily Rolfe. And both of them kind of break my mold of I want them around for a while, but they're just both so damn good.
Am I next? I pick Brent Fikowski and Emily Rolfe.
I'm going to pick Yellow Hosta. And I was deciding between Christy O'Connell or Holta. I'll pick Christy.
Bringing them out of retirement.
Yeah,
So-
I think Christy just ran an ultra marathon. That girl's freaking. I mean, Christy's probably the same age as Rolf. Rolf is 34.
Kenneth is going to go BKG and bring back Sam Briggs.
So
Yep.
I have Sam Briggs. Sam Briggs is who I originally wrote down. You will notice at the end of my list why Sam Briggs is not on my list.
Patrick Clark said Adler and Sahir Kaya. Wad Zombie just wants Emily Rolfe as the face of the franchise.
Great picks.
All right. So then we go to Olympic lifting.
Okay.
And we're back to Jamie.
Okay. I have Jack Farlow and Amanda Barnhart.
Carolyn?
I'll take Guy, and I'll take Laura Horvath here.
So I had Laura here. I crossed.
I picked Laura, right, for output. So
No, you picked Kerstetter.
okay, I'll take Cursor. Okay, I'll pick Horvath here.
Which is funny. I had Laura here. I crossed her off, put Kerstetter here.
Good pick.
And then I went Jack Farlow. Patrick Clark goes Tola and Middleton.
Middleton, yeah.
Sarah Cooper, Jack and Laura. Hannah Black, Matt Fraser.
I also thought about Hannah Black on this.
For endurance, D. Reed says Holberg, Lucas Holberg, and Christy. So I think, yeah. Judy Reed says, didn't Tia go to the Olympics for lifting? Yes. Sorry. She's due to retire soon. Wad Zombie Fraser doesn't even like CrossFit anymore. So then we go to upper body pooling. And that is Carolyn to start.
Gazan, Vellner. I'm winning this draft. I'm sorry. I'm winning.
No.
I'm winning this draft.
No. Look at the quarterfinals and work out 3.
Emma Tall,
And
too.
work out 3. And I'm going Alex Gazan and Saxon Panchik.
Saxon's a good one.
You can't pick Gazan. I picked Gazan. What are you doing?
I have Gazan
We're
too.
repeating all over the place.
Yeah. I have my I wrote my list this morning.
We can match. We can have the same ones.
We can because we're doing it a weird way, but
okay.
But Saxon Panchik, don't sleep on him. Look at his time in workout 3 compared to the world.
Agreed. That is a good pick. I picked Taylor Self and Alex Gazan.
Yeah, I think Alex is undisputed.
Well, Emma Tall crushed that alpaca.
Yep, she did.
So,
we have Leahy and Gazan. We have Cody Anderson and Gazan. Someone just says this draft is wild. Hey, we're just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
Someone threw in Kelsey Keel for Oli.
Very good.
Very good pick. Yeah.
Yeah, if she wouldn't have been penalized this week, I would have went with her.
Damn.
She's
Too
back,
soon.
she's back in now. So
Is she?
yeah, she is.
Did she get an appeal or what? Or
She still has some reps off, but I think she's around the 20 something spot. She came back in.
okay. Wow. See, I would like to hear some of these appeals too and look at what people are getting back.
All right. Kenneth says Jedediah Nelson.
Wonderful. That's great.
The guy can pull, that's for sure.
Yes.
So then we go to odd. We're in the last 2 categories, odd object. And is it me or?
I think it's you. Yeah.
So okay, here we go. Sydney McAlishan and Nick Matthew.
Continue. Oh, am I next? I have Nick Matthew and Danny Spiegel.
I'm going Brent. Females odd object. I don't even know. I can't believe we haven't named Tia at all. She's just good overall at everything.
If I'm starting a franchise, she's at the end of her career. That's the only reason.
Look at it that way.
That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's my team.
Give a female.
Yeah.
I feel like you need I'll pick Spiegel here. You need someone that's athletic. Spiegel's athletic.
Okay. You looked at me funny with Sydney.
I'm trying to think of an odd object workout that she.
I actually went back to the games leaderboards and looked at odd objects. She does very, very well.
She's an amazing puller. I contemplated her for pulling, but I'm trying to think of an odd object workout. Which one are you thinking of?
So different sandbag workouts at the games. She's done well in all of those.
Interesting. That's just not the name I would have thought of.
So I actually did do some research. I pulled up games leaderboards and looked at who did well in what different things. And yeah,
I did too.
So we finish up with maybe the most interesting one, the person you're going to bring on just for leadership to lead this team to victory. Jamie, go.
Rich Froning. And I'm picking Carolyn Lambre.
She's not even an athlete.
Oh, I have to. So I was going to ask you that. Does it need to be somebody who's going to compete, or is it purely my leadership?
Well, I think it's someone that you're going to put. It's a player coach.
That's okay. Then I pick Carolyn.
Okay.
I'm between 2 for females. I'm between Sam Briggs and Carrie Pierce. I'm gonna pick Sam Briggs. And then for the men, I mean, it's got to be people that I haven't picked, right? So I can't pick Pat or Brent. What do I have left? Leadership. Let me pass right now. Let me think about it. Go, Scott. Go too.
So I had Carolyn on my list, but I went with Ariel Lowen.
She was my other one. If I was really picking like athlete,
Because a lot of the athletes I've talked to over the years say how she treats them like their mom at the games.
I will go with Noah from the chat. I forgot about Noah.
That's who mine is.
Noah, who
Mine
is who I
Noah.
really.
Or I came back in before you, Scott. Came back in.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Noah's the
So
other
I had
one.
Noah on my written down.
I have him
Noah
written down too.
Olsen.
I crossed him out and put Rich.
Yeah, pick Dylan. Ariel and Dylan are my leadership people.
There you go.
I think that'd be, well, I don't know. I don't have Brent on my list, so that'd be a good place for him too. I think Pat would be a great leader. And I don't have Pat on my list yet either. So I'll go with Velner.
I think you got to post all 3 lists on your social media and let the fans also pick their.
All right. If you send me your handwritten list, like take a picture of it or something, I'll post them all, and then you guys can vote on which list was the best.
I just think it's crazy Tia's not on the list, or Matt, and those are the 2.
Yeah, Matt's not even competitive. I don't have a single non-North American athlete. They're all American or Canadian. So if that doesn't mean I wanted people that I wanted to compete with and I felt like would be fun to work with. And so it's all people I can understand how they talk and feel like good personalities. So mine are just all in the North America.
So Patrick Clark says Chandler would be a good one, went to a leadership school. Yeah, maybe one of the best leadership schools out there.
And he's a good dude.
And he had like Andrea Nisler as leader.
I don't know how she is as a leader, but yeah, she's a heck of an athlete.
Judy Reed, I tried to nominate Matt for leadership.
1T.
Yeah. So that was fun. And the chat pointed out that I forgot sprint. I forgot overall athlete. So there's room to do some more of this in the future. We'll make up all new categories and we can do it again. I was going to do coach, but I didn't want to put you guys into a weird position.
Yeah.
As one of you has a coach that they actually work with.
Yeah.
Tia for overall athlete. We have a pretty good one right here on the set. But that'd be interesting too. There's a difference
between athlete and fitness, though. There's a huge difference between being an athlete and being fit.
Like we talked about this back when Rogue was going on. The athletes showed themselves in that that bracketed sprint, like Paige Semenza and Danny Spiegel and Jason Hopper.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have a different athleticism than just straight fitness. And it showed a lot at Rogue. Easy is as long as he's on dry land, he's an athlete.
That's what Corey. That's what the teammates are for. They put them in the water.
Yeah. So this was fun. We started off serious with some penalties. It is supposed to be finalized tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Did it say what time?
Do we think they're going to meet the deadline?
I don't know. If they really, they just asked for 3 and 4 videos, and I don't know if that was just to like verify the videos are in there, or they're going to actually review them, and they might want another couple days. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think they really looked much at 3 and 4. It was just probably looking at the measurements. They glanced a few movements. They're like, okay, that's good enough. Nothing stuck out. But they're still, I mean, I haven't heard from like all of the appeals and stuff like that. Like, I'd like to see at the end, obviously, the next few days, all of the penalties, and
Agreed.
So
still like Freya too, with her video too, waiting to see what happens with that one as well.
I saw Caitlin got hers in. So she is back in. Caitlin Van Zyl. And Freya, their scores were missing from workout 2. Caitlin's is now back, and she's back in semifinals. But a little behind the curtains, I started scheduling our semifinal interviews, which was a very bad move before these penalties because 2 of the 3 people I scheduled, I had to cancel.
Were you just like, you didn't make it? Yeah, we're canceling this.
So before the appeal came back, this was my honest feeling as well. I don't want you coming on the air with a pending appeal. Like, I don't want that to affect what's going on with CrossFit. So let's postpone, see where this goes, and then we'll make a decision from there. So I have stopped scheduling until this leaderboard becomes final. I do have Gabby Spence scheduled on Thursday. She has not moved this entire time, and I'm praying that happens. So we'll at least have one on the books going forward.
So did you read, I think PC just said, did you see Rose Scott's Instagram post?
I didn't see the Instagram post, but I did see that her videos were removed, or she didn't have videos.
It says, so the email they sent her says you did not submit a working video. You sent in a video from 2023. And then she goes on to show it, and it says it's clearly uploaded 4/21. Oh, it's crazy.
But then you can see that like she uploaded videos in the last like 6 hours that were.
Oh, did she? So maybe she replaced it.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to speculate.
Yeah.
But I'll stop talking. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know enough.
We talked about this with Tristan on Thursday. Patrick Clark said, when's the next CrossFit press conference? Remember when we had those? We actually talked about that. Because Kristen was like, wouldn't it be nice if there were press conferences? And I'm like, there used to be. Up until Justin Berg was let go. And think what you will about Justin Berg, at least we had a press conference to ask questions. Even if they skirted the answer, we got a chance to at least address that with them. Since he's left, we have not had but in-person semifinals and games press conferences.
Has it been replaced with Dave's weekend review?
That's what I was kind of wondering.
But that's not a press conference. That is a global chat.
Yeah. Andrew, did they remove the male from the female 40 to 44? They did. I think 2 days ago.
Just down 12 spots.
Was someone signed up for him?
Completely wiped. If you type in his name, every single score is a 0. He's like completely wiped.
Oh, okay. That person.
Yeah.
I got it mixed up.
Oscars. Aaron kept watching for him on the leaderboard. He was wondering if, like a dude signed up for the women's. He had a score last year. He had a picture of himself. He made it through the open. He did all the quarterfinal workouts. Yeah. But yes, he's removed.
Well, hopefully the Freya thing gets sorted and the Rose Scott one gets sorted too, with whatever's going on.
Well, with that, one final thank you for ThiccBoi for sponsoring the show. He'll be with us for a couple months. And again, Clydesdale merchandise will be coming soon to the ThiccBoi website. They're getting the screens ready now. And we're having t-shirts and tanks on the first run. It's going to be the new horse logo. They will come in the colors are blue, purple, and gray. So
you can use code Jamie20 for 20% off.
Ooh, there you go.
Put that in there.
And we love ThiccBoi because that boy thick. All right. So with that, we will catch everybody next time on Thursday Night CrossFit Talk. Oh, actually, it'll be on Thursday this week. All right.
Okay.
Catch everybody later. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
And the video